Spontaneous speaking video 81. Alright, what's up everyone? It's been a while since I've actually done a spontaneous speaking video. Pretty much a lot of videos I've been kind of lagging on that. A lot of stuff has been going on. Lost Wi-Fi in the house, etc, etc, etc. We're not going to get into all of that, but hopefully y'all enjoyed my last video with Personality Hacker, interviewing them on the future of typology and everything. And we have a lot more stuff coming. We've created more content than that, like a podcast, and we also got some stuff coming out on their YouTube channel, which I think is just like Joel and Antonia sat down and psychoanalyzed Jamila and me. And so it's crazy, but I think that you guys will really enjoy it. Yeah. Anyway, what I wanted to bring up today was I've noticed this phenomenon of us hyping ourselves up, whether it be accurate or not. But I think that I see way too often online people like bragging on themselves, about how woke they are, or stuff like, I see everything, nothing gets past me, and even talking about how much I give and I give and I give and I don't get anything back. I'm always the giver in the relationship. And it's funny because, once again, I'm somebody who doesn't like when we falsely victimize ourselves. So I look at them and I wonder how many people in their same relationships would say the same thing, like, I give and I give and I give. So it's almost like we're blind to the places where we fall short because we're overhyping the places where we think that we excel at. And you could be all right in those areas, but probably not as great as you may think that you are. And so being like how I said in the video, about using other people as mirrors, I have noticed, once again, that when I see these tendencies in other people, and I see the effects they may have on other people, or especially on me, then I don't find it very tasteful. And so what I end up doing is I start looking into myself to see, like, okay, how can I not have that? You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I've noticed. Like, when people like overhype themselves and stuff, especially when it's inaccurate, then that's a problem. Now, there's not a problem with being like modest, apparently, and I'd always butcher this, but apparently there's a difference between like being modest and being humble. Being humble, at least from how I understand it, explained a few times, is more of like almost like downplaying something that's even like accurate of yourself to kind of like put up a little persona of some sort of humility. But to be modest is more of like, no, I'm accurate about what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. And if you ask me if I'm good at this, I'll tell you straight up. But I'm just not going to brag on it, but I'm also not going to downplay it so that I can make it seem a certain type of way. So I would like to think that I'm modest about my own abilities because I'm aware of what I'm good at, and I'm also aware of what I'm not good at. John Bellion once said, in one of his songs, he said that to be, dang, I forgot what he said before it. He said he can't pretend that he's not talented. To be fake humble is another way of being arrogant. So in a way, John Bellion is saying that no, he knows that he's gifted, he knows that he's great, etc., etc. But he doesn't go around on one extreme talking about, I'm so great, I'm such a great musician, I'm such a great artist, I'm blowing everybody out the water with every single album that I drop. But at the same time, he's also not like denying, like, nah, man, I'm just trying to get like you, man. Like, he's not doing that. He's just accurate about where he stands, and he neither brags about it nor does he downplay it. And I think that that's something that we could learn from, him and others who are like that. I think that and this is, of course, once again, just all my opinion, but I want to bring attention to how often that we might boost ourselves up, especially inaccurately. Like, are you really the person who's always giving as much as you say that you're giving? Are you really as insightful and perceptive as you think that you are and that you're bragging yourself to be? Does nothing really ever get past you? Like, for me, I know, for example, in all modest terms, I know that I actually am very perceptive of several different things. Now, I wouldn't go as far to say like nothing gets past me, because I mean, that's kind of like, like, I don't know what the word would be, but almost, is it paradoxical, ironic? I can't think of the word. It's one of those kind of words, but it's almost like I wouldn't know what got past me unless if I was aware of what got past me. So I'm pretty positive that things do get past me, but I do know that I notice a lot of things, and I choose to keep quiet about those things, especially because I've learned to quiet that more and more within myself, because I've caused other people to think of me as like having some sort of like God complex, like, and I talk about this in the ENFJ God complex. Not that every ENFJ is like this, but a tendency from my own personal experience. Like, I have friends who, one ESFP friend of mine, well, we're not friends anymore, but who used to be a friend of mine, she used to be like, Denzel, I have something to tell you. And I'm like, okay, what's up? She's like, unless if you already know, like you usually do. And I'm like, well, I can only say that I only know, like, even if I do know, I said something like, even if I do know, I will not act like I know. I will not let you know that I know unless if you're ready to tell me. Um, but then she's like, "See, you might know actually," and then that kind of like upsets her, because it's almost like she can't hide anything from me. And then I have an ESFJ friend who, she got really upset because she felt like I had a God complex in a way where I will predict things, and I'll tell her, like, I'll give her certain warnings about things, and they always come to pass in like the past 5 years. And that annoyed her, because I guess she felt like I'm not the type of person to say I told you so. I feel like once you see something happen that I've warned you about, that's enough of I told you so. I don't really like when people tell me I told you so. So I, once again, use them as mirrors and try not to tell other people I told you so, because a lot of times I don't even want to be right. But once again, I think I talked about this in the ENFJ God complex thing. It's almost like, I'm forgetting all of their names now that Game of Thrones is over. But dang, I really can't remember his name. Maybe it'll come to me as I'm talking about him. But the dude that was bald, and he got castrated and everything. I believe that he was INFJ. He was close with Tyrion. You guys know who I'm talking about. Y'all probably like commented or probably come to me like after the video, but right now I'm trying to like think fast and talk fast so this doesn't take too long. So anyway, I'm just gonna move faster. That guy, the eunuch, I think that's the word. It's early, okay? It's not even 10 a.m. yet. Anyway, that guy, he warned, spoiler alert, what was going to happen with Daenerys and everything, and he was still killed. But he wasn't up. We saw memes like of him saying like, "I told y'all so." I don't believe that he was really up there saying, "I told y'all so." I think that he was more of like, "Oh man, I was really hoping that I was wrong." Because just because you have that ability to predict what's going to happen doesn't mean that that's what you want to happen, and that doesn't mean that you're like proud about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I perceive myself. Like, I'm pretty good at seeing these kinds of things, insights into people's relationships and stuff like that. But first of all, that's annoying. Like, if you already like know everything, then what's the point of people coming to tell you these things? So a lot of times I act surprised when people tell me, and I guess I can see how that can seem like a God complex, because some people may ask the question like, okay, well, if God already knows everything that I feel, think, and say, etc., then why do I have to go pray to him and ask him for these things? But the reason why is because God still wants to hear it from you. That's how you build a relationship. He can know all of these things about you, but he doesn't have a relationship with you until you talk with him. And he will talk with you as if he's not going to be like, I already knew this because I am the all-seeing God, and I'm so perceptive and insightful, and I've created everything, and blah, blah, blah. No, he's going to speak to you as if he didn't know. Not because he's trying to manipulate you and make you feel stupid or anything, but actually, quite the contrary, he wants to build that relationship with you, and he knows that you know that he knows. But still, he wants to build that relationship with you. And in the same sense, not saying that I'm God, but just, because that's why we call it like that God complex and everything. I think that that's how I am as well. Like, if I wasn't supposed to know that information, then why will I have you how do I say it? Why would I? Why would I pretend? Why would I? Why would I make it very well known and obvious that I know the information I'm not supposed to know? Especially if you don't even know it about yourself yet. It's not my job to bring it to the surface unless if it becomes my job. Like, you're having me coach you or you ask me what my opinion of this certain thing is. And of course, you aren't going to be like butthurt about it because I will try to use tact, but it's up to you to be still receptive of it if it's a bad thing. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about all of that, and I just felt like expelling this into the air. How many of you guys fall victim to this kind of thing, and how many of you guys know other people who are like this? Maybe this is something that we can start becoming more self-aware about. Once again, this is my channel. I'm just, speaking my opinion. If this doesn't really seem like a problem to you, then that's fine. I'm not the judge of all of this. I'm just saying, like, these are my thoughts about certain things. You can go ahead and think about it and follow it, or you could just discard it. Doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, you do you. Thanks a lot for watching. Once again, stay tuned for more videos and stuff like that. I've been just really busy, I'm working a double shift today at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm working another double shift tomorrow, Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm also about to hop on a call. So, really trying to, get a lot of stuff done. But I'm still doing my best to keep up with this YouTube channel. Thanks y'all for y'all's patience and continuing to rock with me. Continuing to watch these videos. I really appreciate it. Share them if you feel led to. And yeah, I think that's about everything. Also, comment your comments, questions, concerns. Watch older videos. Let me know what you think about those as well, because I just like hearing, y'all's feedback on my thoughts. Yeah, I like conversation. Done.